Yo, so I got to check out the new Superman movie by James Gunn yesterday, and I wanted to offer my 2 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents, whatever cents on what I thought about the movie. Welcome to the Starcade Lounge. Yo, so as I said, I went to see the Superman movie yesterday, and I know this has been reviewed a million times over. This is still not going to be a spoiler review, despite the fact that, I think the good majority of fans have seen it by now. It's not so much a review as it is, I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. And so when I heard James Gunn was getting Superman, I was kind of happy because, as great as the whole Snyder experiment was, I don't know what the heck was going on at DC, and really I think everybody was just kind of looking for stability. So it was great to see that someone who's already handled a big franchise was going to be taking the helm of the new DC universe. So moving on to the movie now. Um, I thought it was good. It was a lot, but it was good. It was still done really well, and a lot of people say there were too many characters and things like that. But the thing I like about the way he did it was that he made, Superman is a, tentpole character, and outside of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, everybody else is kind of B-list, C-list, right? So I like that he kind of tentpoled Superman, and he was able to put other characters in that you could kind of get a sense of. You get to see like come to life out of the comic book. So if you're a comic book fan, it's like going to be a great movie for you. But it was great to see that you were able to see second tier characters come to life, and I think that's what DC's done well. That I think that Marvel should have done was tentpole your main characters, and everybody else plays a supporting role in whatever television movie experience that they're going to create. I think that was the best way to go, because I think the problem with Marvel was I think it was a mistake giving everybody their own thing. There are certain characters that just don't need their own movie. As good as they made a lot of the movies, we didn't need to see, certain characters have their own television show, their own movie, or whatever and whatnot. So I think the way DC's doing it, hopefully they keep doing that, where Batman gets a movie, Wonder Woman gets a movie, and it's just supporting characters from other parts of the DC universe. I really liked that he did that. Now the thing is, the tone of it is kind of light, although it's not. It's still pretty, it's got its gritty bits. I'm not going to give that away, but it's got its gritty bits. So it's not super light, but it's not necessarily family friendly. Let's just put it that way. So from that aspect, I like that he was able to keep it a little bit dark and also still a little bit lighthearted in a lot of spots. Like I said, it was the character, the supporting characters, especially Mr. Terrific, like really stood out, and it was great to see. I think what I like to see is these odd pairings that you probably wouldn't see outside of the comic books, and sometimes even in the comic books, really. Now, as much as I liked it, it is definitely a comic book fan's movie. I I still say I think I prefer Man of Steel just because of the way you kind of get a little bit more you get a more complete Superman, I would say. And that, not to say that James Gunn's Superman wasn't complete. It was a lot more range, and you got to get a more human and more I guess human based Superman, as opposed to Snyder's I guess a little bit more god like Superman. But I will say, if I'm putting someone on Superman, they're getting their introduction to Superman for the first time, I think I would put them on Man of Steel before I would put them on to the Superman movie James Gunn made. And like I said, I like the James Gunn movie. I I I I think it's my Superman. I think it's the Superman I would go with because I'm not necessarily the biggest DC Comics guy. Like I don't read the comic books a lot, but I'm familiar from the television shows and other things like that. So, like I said, is I like the way it was done. For me, as someone who's into comic books, I prefer that Superman. I prefer the James Gunn Superman, but for the sake of introducing someone else to it, someone to the character, someone who's outside the universe of the character, I'd give them the Zack Snyder version. I think it's just a little bit more of an intro. Naturally, it's more origin based, so you get a bit more, you get a better understanding, and it's like complete. It's got his origin, and you get a complete story. You get kind of like the direction he's gonna go, whether or not you see another Superman movie or not. You kind of get a better sense of where he goes as far as his future on planet Earth as a Kryptonian. So once again, like I said, not a review, just kind of an overview, just my thoughts. And what would I give it out of 10? I'd say I give it about an 8.5 out of 10. I don't know if there was enough Superman, really, but like I said, it was a good movie overall. If you love DC Comics, you love DC comic books, then you're gonna really dig the movie. Until the next, Simon Thompson from Starcade Lounge, Down Arc Records. Catch you on the next. Peace.